Ultimate Frisbee, or Ultimate, is one of the fastest growing sports in the UK, and with a potential spot at the 2028 Olympic Games in Los Angeles seemingly on the horizon, there's a lot to discuss.
Ultimate Frisbee was first established by a group of students in New Jersey in 1968. The non-contact sport has been rejected from the 2020 and 2024 Olympics in Tokyo and Paris respectively, but there are high hopes among those in the Ultimate community that the 2028 Games in Los Angeles will see it introduced. I spoke with Helen Thompson, who captains Smog, one of the top Ultimate teams in the UK, about this.
I think the chances are a lot higher than it was for 2020 or 2024, partially because each host nation gets to pick like a couple sports that join the Olympics that year. And the US is unbelievably good at Frisbee. And we usually, I don't know if they'll have all three divisions, but we usually have a mixed open or men's and women's division. And the US would win gold in all three. So I would be highly surprised if they didn't look at that and go, oh, wow, we could have a gold medal. Let's put it in the Olympics. But the talk that we're hearing at the moment is that they would change the structure of it. So I think part of the concern is because we're another big team sport. It's hard because there's a limited number of athletes that they can have at the games, etc. So having big teams is difficult. So what I'm hearing is that they're thinking about changing the structure from 7-on-7 to 4-on-4 on a much smaller pitch, and trying that out, which I understand from a logistical point of view to get us into the Olympics, but I don't agree with from a sport point of view. I think it's kind of a shame that we would change it just to get into the Olympics. And I don't think it really represents what our sport does, but that's my own personal opinion. I do think we have a chance of having some form of Frisbee in the Olympics.
Teams are declared the winner if they reach 15 points, or if they become the first team to score a point after a buzzer is sounded. There are no referees in Ultimate, with players adhering to the spirit of the game, which is one thing Helen feels could help the sport in its Olympic bid.
Actually, they like that we don't have referees, and it's maybe actually a plus in our favor. It's very kind of like Olympic spirit to be, fair-minded and focused on sportsmanship. So I don't think it'll be referees. I think what the World Flying Disc Federation is doing now is they have game advisors. So they look like referees. They're in like an orange shirt on the pitch, but they only step in if you ask them. So if two players can't agree on a call, you go to the game advisors and then they'll tell you what they saw, but they're really like a third party. They don't actually make the decision, but it can be an unbiased third party. So I think that's kind of the middle ground they'll go with going forward.
7 players on each side, with the goal passing to a teammate inside the end zone, similar to American football. Players can stand still with a Frisbee, but there's a catch. If a player holds on to the Frisbee for 10 seconds, then there's a stall out and possession is surrendered to the other team.
Considering the huge popularity of the sport in the US, it would not be a surprise to see Ultimate added to the Olympic roster in 2028. Given that it is taking place in California, where some of the world's biggest Ultimate tournaments are hosted, there perhaps won't be a better chance for it to be officially recognised. This opportunity is one that the Ultimate community will want to grab with both hands.